Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival, and so today we're going to talk about the top 5 ways to find members for your prepper group. Now, just so you guys know, it's the first part of a larger lesson that I did for the Patreon members, and I think we've got about 22 or so total ideas in this list. But I'm going to give you guys the top 5 because I think they're good, definitely good ways to get involved in groups and activities that will help you find other potential members for your group. So, as you guys know, Patreon, you can join that for about $1 a month, roughly 3 cents a day, or couple cups of Starbucks coffee a year. So it's nearly free. And I have been putting out tons of stuff over there. I think you guys will really enjoy it. This is just another sample of it, to kind of give you an idea of what you could expect. I try to do at least one full lesson like this every week. Plus, I do shorter lessons. I do diagrams. We do lists. All that kind of stuff. My goal with the American Prepping Academy on Patreon is to basically provide educational content for you guys so that you can become a prepping educator and teach other people in the community. I think it's time that we start having a more formalized curriculum, and we start bringing more people into the prepping community, and I think this is a great way to do it. All the lessons that I put up on Patreon are downloadable. They're printable. I do the printer-friendly versions as well as the more visually appealing ones like we're looking at here. But I also do them in a printer-friendly version so that you can print them out and put them in your emergency binder and those kinds of things. So anyway, with that, let's go ahead and get started. I think that there are a few different categories of prepper groups. So I kind of wanted to go over those, at least in my mind. This is kind of how I break it down. You've got your formal prepper groups that are likely to have an organized paramilitary-like structure with a chain of command and rank structure. These are going to be similar to a militia, but more focused on defending an area or a community and kind of maintaining a sense of normalcy within their area of control. You've also got informal prepper groups. These are the kind of the ones that I prefer. It's more of a loose association of like-minded people who will come together and assist each other in a disaster. And, they're more likely going to be made up of family members, friends, close associates, work associates, those kinds of things. Then you've got bug out and prepper groups, bug out prepper groups. And these are people who are planning to leave an area and go to a pre-established location together. They may also have pre-positioned supplies or purchased land, built buildings out there, those kinds of things. Then you've got the bug-in prepper groups, and these are people who are planning to stay in an area, ride out the disaster where they currently live. Maybe they all live in a neighborhood together or something along those lines, and they're not going to leave unless they're actually forced to do so. And you can also have some crossover in each one of these different categories. So that's just kind of an idea about different kinds of groups. The goal for this lesson is to hopefully help provide you with some ideas about places that you can look to find like-minded people who may already be into preparedness or at least have a tendency towards being more self-reliant. This can be a really difficult task, and the thing is it's going to require you to get out and get involved and take part in some of these different various kinds of activities. It'll also require you to get to know people and form relationships with them to determine if they may be suitable candidates, as a potential member of your group. You don't just want to let anybody in. Now, all these areas that are listed in this lesson are places, groups, and clubs that many preppers already frequent. They also, like I said, it's also going to be up to you, though, to get out and make those human connections so you can identify who's going to be the right person. All right, so a real good one is 4-H groups. 4-H is an organization, and it's primarily organized for children, but it's a great way for both adults and kids to learn a wide variety of prepping skills. I've got the link on here so you guys can check that out if you want. They're 4-H is real big into animal husbandry, gardening, shooting, and they just have a ton of different kinds of activities, especially for kids. So check out 4-H. There's just a ton of preppers already involved in that group, and it's a great place to meet like-minded people. All right, so the next thing would be your gardening clubs or a community garden. They've got the National Garden Club and the Garden Club of America. Got the links there for you. And you can also get your Master Gardener certification, which is a great thing to add to your prepper resume. It's actually a lot of work, though. And then, the cool thing about being involved in these clubs and meeting people through these organizations is you could trade seeds with them, and a lot of these guys are already really into canning and long-term food preservation and all those kinds of things, so that would be good too. And if you don't have a garden, like a community garden in your area, one of the great ways to meet local gardeners is go to your city council, talk with them about, finding some city land that's not being used and opening a community garden yourself. That would be a great way to get plugged into people who are interested in that kind of thing. Okay, so the next thing is ham radio clubs. Ham radio clubs are filled with other prepper members, and a great way to learn to get not only get your ham certification, but also to learn all about radios and how they work and different communication methods and stuff like that. You've got the National Association for Amateur Radio. That's the ARRL.org. And then you've also got the Radio Amateur Civil Emergency Service, which is usraces.org. And the Civil Emergency Service, they're basically a group of folks who kind of agree and get trained up to be emergency radio operators during disasters. It's a partly government-sponsored organization, so that's kind of cool too. And then I also got a link here for you to CQ Amateur Radio that has a list of different clubs, radio clubs around the country. Okay, so the next one is search and rescue groups. You got the National Association for Search and Rescue. You got their website there, and pretty much every state and most counties have a search and rescue group. This is a great way to get involved with these groups and volunteer your time to go out and look for people when they get lost and stuff. It's a great way to test equipment, to use radios, practice navigation, learn about teamwork, and a lot of people involved in search and rescue are already preppers. This is also a good place to learn about tracking skills, how to track people and counter tracking also, and then also how dogs work, how tracking dogs work, and it's good exercise as well. So this is another really good one. Then you've got the shooting ranges, all the different shooting organizations that are out there. These are great places to meet other preppers. You got the United States Practical Shooting Association, or USPSA. You've got the International Defensive Pistol Association, IDPA. Those are both, pistol competitions basically, and then they've also got the Steel Challenge. You've got the National Shooting Sports Foundation, the National Rifle Association, and I'm not so worried about supporting them as a membership and a lobbying group and everything, but more talking about their competitions and the shooting competitions that they put on. Those are a great place to meet other like-minded folks. Then you've got some of the shotgunning sports like National Sporting Clays Association, the Amateur Trap Shooting Association, and the National Skeet Shooting Association. All great ways to meet people who are like-minded and who are into preparedness. So that's the top 5 for this list. If you guys would like to see the rest of the list, you can head over to Patreon. It's patreon.com/American Prepping Academy. You can join for as little as $1 a month. That's going to get you access to all the full lessons, and you're going to be able to download, like I said, all the content. And I think that you'll find that it is very much worth the cost of entry. And the cool thing about it is that just that little barrier, that little $1 a month, keeps out all the trolls and the and the idiots and all that kind of stuff. And so it's really a great environment over there. And I encourage you to check it out. And if you do it for a month and you don't like it, then you can always just stop the membership, and it costs you $1. No big deal. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, wherever. And don't forget to live the 6 P's. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. All right. See you guys.